The new Premier League season is just days away, and it is tradition on the channel to share with you my Premier League table predictions. The 1 to 20 this year's edition, we've got some other predictions to share with you at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned. Right, let's get into it. So sit back, relax, just before you get too comfy, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your 1 to 20 in the comments. And let's get into these predictions. Don't take these too seriously. Of course, you will disagree on majority of these, but these are just my thoughts and my opinions on how the table will look come the end of the season. If I've put your side low down, it's nothing personal. I didn't know you support that side. These are just my thoughts on the league. So take it with a pinch of salt and let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let's go. 20th, I don't want to put any side there, but it has to be filled in, and I have gone for Burnley. All the promoted sides coming up from the Championship this season are quite strong, especially Burnley. The additions of Kyle Walker, really exciting. What a sign that is. Ugachukwu, Broha as well, and Dubravka, who was brought in to replace James Trafford, who was transferred across to Man City last season. Him and his defence were brilliant. Of course, Esteban there was a big part to Burnley's success last season, of course. Really good centre-half. And Trafford. 16 goals conceded in 46 games is an incredible record, and that did break some records last season. Clean sheet record, of course, broken. Many others as well. And only 16 goals conceded in the Championship last year is an absolute joke for Burnley. Of course, they've also lost the likes of Josh Brownhill, who contributed to 24 goal involvements last season. That's a big miss. In a side that last season didn't score that many to get promoted, of course, mainly it was the defensive record that got them over the line. 24 goal contributions. That is a lot to take away from the amount they scored. And this year, Broha, Ugachukwu, will they be able to provide? Tough to see. Burnley have got some good players in there, but I just don't think there's enough in there to get over the line. But some good signings like the Walker, as I said, and the Dubravka, smart signings. But I just don't think it's going to be enough for Burnley to get over the line. 20th for them. Into 19th, I've gone with the other side that reached 100 points in the Championship last season. I've gone with Leeds United. Now, this is a very tough decision because, of course, all the promoted sides coming up from the Championship look really strong. They've recruited really well. But to put a side to stay up, in the last few years, have we had better sides and better squads get relegated? Possibly so. And with Leeds United, I want to put them to survive, but I just don't actually believe it will happen, which is why I've put them to go down under Daniel Farke, who, of course, great in the Championship, but in the Premier League, previously with Norwich, hasn't been good enough. And at the start of the year, there was rumours that Farke would get sacked at the end of the season before the Premier League. That would have been completely wrong. If you take a team up, you deserve to at least have a chance of proving yourself. Of course, more experience now, Farke, for that. Experiencing getting sacked with Norwich, of course, experience is very valuable, and hopefully he's grown from that and is able to apply it now with Leeds United and get a better outcome this time around with them. Some signings for Leeds this season have been very impressive. Anton Stach, Beale, Perry, Longstaff, Goodmanson, Bornau and Nemecha all being brought in. They have lost two left-backs in Firpo and Christiansen. Firpo the main one, but, I mean, he wasn't going to sign a new deal, and I feel like they could have done better anyway, and they have in bringing out someone else in. Last season, they scored plenty of goals. Joel Peru got 26 goal involvements last season. Solomon with 22. He's back at Tottenham, of course. Dan James with 21. Most of the recruitment has been focused around the defence and midfield. Clearly, they believe in their attacking forces to stay up. For me, I think they'll fall short in 19th. And into 18th, the final team getting relegated. I didn't want to go like this, but I've had to. I really have had to, just for the points at the end of the season when we come to reacting to them. If I put one of these sides to stay up and they go down, it would have been more of because I want them to stay up rather than I think they'll stay up. And that's why I've gone for Sunderland to go down. It's a very boring bottom three. All the promoted sides, Sunderland, of course, statistically the weakest of the promoted sides from last season, having to come up through the playoffs, but they have recruited very well, and I actually think they'll turn into the strongest by the end of this season of the promoted sides. Of course, they've been very busy under Regis Labrie, who has signed a new contract, of course. Last year they finished 4th. It was very dramatic in the playoffs last year for Sunderland. They've signed Habib Diarra, Simon Adingra, very exciting. Lefebvre has been converted to a permanent signing. Talbi, Sadiki, Xhaka is a great pickup there for Sunderland. Rofs, Masuaka and Guiyu on loan from Chelsea. They've lost Joe Bellingham and Tom Watson. Tom Watson's parting gift was send them to the Premier League in the dying stages of the playoff final. Bellingham following his brother and going to Borussia Dortmund as well. Last season, they scored plenty of goals. Wilson Isidore, 14 goal involvements, 12 of them being goals, and Mayenda with 13 goal involvements. They, of course, have still got a little bit more work to do in the transfer window, but so far, really good for Sunderland. I don't think they'll be far off surviving, but I don't think they will survive. In the 17th place then, I have gone for Brentford the Bees. Of course, last season they finished in 10th place, but Thomas Frank, the man that led them to 10th place, has departed for Tottenham. Now they've got Keith Andrews in his first job. A lot has been said about Keith Andrews in terms of he's not good enough, he's not proven. Yes, the latter of them is true, that he's not proven at this level. But he wouldn't have been given a job, surely. Yeah, this is my thinking of it anyway. Surely he wouldn't be given a job if he wasn't any good. There's got to be something about him that Brentford have seen and think, okay, we'll give him the job. Give him a little go. If it don't work, it's not the end of the world. At least we tried. There's got to be something about him for Brentford. Otherwise, surely they wouldn't have gone for him. That's my thinking anyway. They've brought in quite a few players, actually. More than I was actually aware of. Henderson, Donovan, Kelleher. What a signing Kelleher is, by the way. Really good player. Coyote and Melambo have all been brought in by Brentford. They've lost in Buemo, Norgard, Flecken, De Silva, me, and potentially soon to be Johan Wissa. Last season, Wissa and Mbuemo contributed to 50 goals. That's a lot of goals. And have Brentford got them to replace? No, I don't think so. Which is why I've got them dropping quite a few places down in the league this season. And just about surviving relegation. In the 16th place, I've gone for the side that finished 16th last season. A bit boring, but I've gone for Wolves. Under Vitor Pereira, they have lost a few key players. The likes of Ignori and Cunha have both been sold. Last season, Cunha, 15 goals, 21 goal involvements. Ignori, 11 goal involvements. But the other man with a higher amount of goal involvements last season, Strand Larsen, 18 goal involvements, 40 of them being goals. Strand Larsen has been brought back in by Wolves on a permanent deal, as well as Fer Lopez, Arias and Wolfe have all been brought in by Wolves, who have also lost Guedes, Semedo, Sarabia and Chiquito have all left Molineux. But under Vitor Pereira, I think there's a really good manager there who really cares, and he's pretty good as well, you know. So I think Wolves will be fine this season, but I have got them finishing in 16th. In the 15th place, I have gone for West Ham. Last season, of course, wasn't a great year on the whole for West Ham after the previous few years, but it is what it is for West Ham. They're still in the division and still in a good place, I guess. So that is some positive take from it. Of course, the main talking point going into this season will be the manager, Graham Potter, who was once upon a time at my team Swansea. And I have to say, I miss Potter so much because, yes, these days every manager and every club wants their team to play, majority anyway, want to play attacking, possession-based football. But possession-based football being the main title, not many teams are fussed on it being attacking-based. Graham Potter's football with a purpose, possession with a purpose. Really, really, really good. I cannot praise Potter high enough. You know, probably my second favourite manager we've had since relegation. Really, really good manager. I wish he was here for longer because we were building something really special. He had a good amount of time at Brighton, delivered. Didn't have long enough at Chelsea, couldn't deliver. West Ham have got to give him time because I really do feel like there's going to be a top manager in there if he's given time. Now, the thing is, of course, in football, you don't really get too much time as a manager. But hopefully West Ham can allow him that. They've brought in some decent players. Todibo, Diouf has been brought in, who in pre-season has been doing really well. Hermansen from Leicester in goal. Walker-Peters and Cam Wilson. Some really, really smart signings there from West Ham. And they have lost some quality, though. The likes of Soufal, Kudus, Ings, Cresswell, Zuma, Antonio and Fabianski have all left the London Stadium. Last season, the top two goal involvement players Bowen with 21 goal involvements. And in second was Thomas Soucek with 10 goal involvements. You can see that as a clear over-reliance on Jarrod Bowen. But he is that good of a player that he can deliver. And I feel like that's what's going to see West Ham above the drop zone. They do need some more firepower. Hopefully they're able to get it in the transfer window. But Bowen is going to be a main part to the puzzle under Potter. For me, West Ham, 15th. Into 14th place, I've gone for Iraiola's Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth, of course, they finished 9th last season in the Premier League. And in the last 5 seasons, they finished in a better position, a higher place than they did the previous year. So will Bournemouth finish higher than 9th this season? That's the one to improve on this year if they're going to keep that trend up. They have brought in Petrovic and Truffet. Of course, last season they had Kepa Arrizabalaga. He's now gone from Chelsea to Arsenal. They brought in Petrovic from Chelsea, who seems to be a solid goalkeeper. We'll have to find out. And Truffet is the Milos Kukes replacement signing who has departed to Liverpool. Dean Huijsen has departed. Jane Anthony to Burnley. Matt Travers to Everton as well. And Joe Rothwell to Rangers. But it's not been the worst transfer window. Bournemouth obviously lost some quality, especially in the defence. But Truffet's a big signing for them at left back. I think he'll do well. Last season, the main players with the goal output last season was Justin Kluivert with 18 goal involvements. Anthony Semenyo with 16 goal involvements last year for Bournemouth. Really positive. This year I do feel like they'll slip down a little bit in the league though. They'll concede more this season. That's why I've got Bournemouth finishing in 14th. Into 13th place, I've gone for Nottingham Forest. Forest finished in 7th place last season. A very good year under Nuno Espirito Santos. And what a rise it has been in the last few years from Forest. Really critical speaking, we probably should have seen Forest finish in the Champions League places. They ended up getting Europa League football, which should have been conference, but everything going on with Crystal Palace and Forest have complained and everything. Yeah, it's not a good look on Forest, is it? And really, Crystal Palace have been absolutely robbed of European football. I personally really don't agree with that. Alanga's left the City ground. Danilo, Sosa, O'Brien, Ahmed Adebele, Turner, Toffolo, Panzo and Hennessy have all departed the City ground. They've brought in Angus Gunn from Norwich, who's not really going to play that much. Cunha at right back, Igor Jesus and Dan Ndoye, 2 players I'm very excited to see how they play for Forest. And Morgan Gibbs White's contract situation was sorted as well. And that is basically a new signing for Forest because he is that good. Last season contributed to 15 goal involvements. Alanga, who's departed, contributed to 17. But the main man last season was Chris Wood with 20 goals for Forest. Every side dreams of having that 20 goal a season striker. Chris Wood, if he can deliver it again this season, that would be 2.5, 3 solid years of goal scoring. And yeah, top player really. Just wasn't really given a chance at Newcastle beforehand. But at Forest, yeah, he's their main man and continuing at the moment to deliver for the Reds. And this year, I do feel like they'll finish in 13th. European football, I feel like will have a little impact on the league finish. Into 12th place, I have gone for Crystal Palace. Under Oliver Glasner, they finished in 12th last season and they won the FA Cup, they won the Community Shield. But the only reason stopping me putting them higher in the table is because I've seen so many links of Mark Geehee and Eberechi Eze both departing Palace. Now, it hasn't happened yet, but it does seem like at least one of them's going to go, if not both of them. And that's why I've sort of been safe and put them in 12th. I'd love to see Palace finish higher up because one of the clubs in the Premier League I just have a soft spot for. It's just Palace, isn't it? It's just great club to see do well. They've brought in not many players. Benitez and Sosa have been brought in. They've lost Holden, Schlupp, who's gone to Norwich, and Ebuawi, who's gone to Blackpool as well. So not much change there at Palace over the summer. Jean-Philippe Mateta is linked to loads of clubs. Last season, he scored 14 goals, 2 assists. As for Eze, 16 goal involvements last season. Palace this season will finish 12th for me. Into 11th place, just missing out in the top half, I have gone for Fulham under Marco Silva. Last season, they finished in 11th as well. And it's been a quiet summer transfer window for Fulham. They've brought in Leconte in goal. And they've lost Willian and Carlos Vinicius, which isn't too big players departing. Of course, Willian was fantastic. He's had a great career, especially in the Premier League with Chelsea, of course. But Fulham, he was really good as well. So many moments of quality, but he has finally run his course. Last year for Fulham, some great players. Raul Jimenez really did capture his Wolves form back again, scoring 12 goals. Alex Iwobi, 15 goal involvements. And Rodrigo Muniz got 8 goals last season. If he stays around at Fulham, I think he can double that tally. I think he's a fantastic player. Rumours are, though, he wants to go to Atalanta instead of playing football at Craven Cottage this season. For me, Fulham finished 11th. I feel like there's not much more to say about them. They've very much stood still over the summer, it seems like. And I felt they finished 11th this season. Into 10th place then, into the top half, I have gone for Everton. Last season, they finished in 13th. And Everton, new stadium this season, new ambition, hopefully. They've already signed the likes of Grealish on loan from City, which is a fantastic signing. Thierry Barry has been signed. Dewsbury Hall, who was fantastic at Leicester, didn't really get much of a chance at Chelsea. But at Everton, that's a magic signing. He was really good as well at Luton Town a few years ago when he was out on loan. Brilliant player there. Alzone, the left-back's been brought in. Travers from Bournemouth has been brought in. He was on loan at Middlesbrough last season. A player I really do rate in the Championship. Really good. So really good keeper there for Everton as a backup. And Carlos Alcaraz has come across on a permanent deal. Of course, he was on loan last season. But I think he's a fantastic player as well. Excited to see the ambition that Everton are showing. They have lost Calvert-Lewin, Morpé, Doucouré, Begovic, Young and Holgate. But to be honest, out of all them players, you probably only look at Doucouré, maybe Calvert-Lewin as players that could have got into this 11 or at least been in the squad. Apart from that, you know, they have just got rid of, I hate to say it for some of them, but dead wood. You know, a lot of them are getting on a bit now. Aren't really at the top of their game. Last season, Dwight McNeil got involved in 10 goal involvements last season. Ndai got 9 goals. And Beto with 8 goals last season. There's going to be a lot more pressure on them this season. Of course, new stadium, new ambitions hopefully. And I think they finished in the top 10 this season. Exciting year for Everton. Hopefully they're back on track. Into 9th place, I've gone for Aston Villa. Last year, they finished in 6th place. I've got them slipping down slightly in that chasing pack for the Champions League places. There's always a lot of competition. I imagine it will be the same this season for Aston Villa under Unai Emery. They've brought in Evan Guezand. Hopefully I'm saying that one right up front. Promising striker. Really like the addition of him. Yassin Ozcan, the centre-half, has come in. And Marco Bizot has also been brought in at Villa Park. While they've only lost Kane, Kessler, Hayden this far in the window, Watkins and Emi Martinez are being rumoured to depart Villa Park, but I don't actually think it's going to happen. I don't believe the rumours at the moment anyway. Last season, Watkins had a fantastic year. 16 goals, 8 assists. You can see why teams are interested. What a player. For me, though, Aston Villa slipped down slightly this season. I just think the sides above have improved, and Villa haven't improved as much over the summer. Of course, when you bring in new signs, it's always exciting. You can get carried away. Of course, it takes time to bind and gel the new ideas, of course. But for me, I just feel like Villa have been a bit slow this summer, and other sides are overtaking them. That's the way I can imagine it anyway. But I do think it'll be a top half finish for Villa. 9th place. Into 8th place then, I've gone for Man United. Last season, under Amorim, they finished in 15th. It was a dreadful year for Man United last season. And I think I've been caught in a trap again. Because when I did my early predictions, I think I put them around 12th, 13th position. I thought they were going to struggle again. Now, they have made some nice signings I do really like for Man United. But I might have been carried away in just looking at Man United's name and thinking, higher. And I got to wait for that to say, stop. They're not going to finish any higher. Because every year I feel like, I look at Man United, I think, they surely can't repeat what they did last season. They've got to improve. And somehow they never improve as much as I think they will improve. Putting Man United outside of the top 6 anyway just doesn't seem right anyway with me. But it is becoming a new normal. They've got to fix that quickly, Man United. And maybe Amorim is the man. They've signed Sesko, Cunha and Buemo. Really promising players there. And Diego Leon as well. They have let go, though, of Ericsson, Lindelof, Evans and Rashford. Although Rashford is just a loan to Man United, to Barcelona, of course, from Man United. I think that is a pretty solid window, things considered, from the incomings and outgoings. Sesko, Cunha and Buemo with Bruno Fernandes, that is a very, very nice looking attack for Manchester United. And that's what they needed to improve, because last season Bruno Fernandes was the top man really in Manchester United with the most goal contributions with 18. Ahmad had 14 goal contributions, but they needed to add to it. They need Mbeumo Cunha sitting behind Sesko with Bruno Fernandes. I mean, just thinking about that, what an improvement. But of course, we've seen many players flop at Man United. Hopefully these lot don't, because for once, I actually think Man United could have a good season. Let's wait and see. Into 7th place now, I have gone for Newcastle. Now, everything surrounding Newcastle at the moment seems to be evolving Alexander Isak to Liverpool. So much in the media going on about this, and it's getting a bit annoying now, so we won't talk about that any longer. Maybe mention it 1 or 2 more times throughout the video, but not much longer for Newcastle. This season, of course, once again with Eddie Howe, he looks to improve on last season, finish in 5th. I don't think they will, though. They've brought in Elanga and Ramsdale, really good signings them. And I like the way Newcastle go about their business. They've missed out on loads of deals this summer, but the players they are signing improve the squad straight away. So that's really good. They've lost Longstaff, Kelly, Wilson, Lewis, Dubravka as well. And of course, Isak is looking like he's going to try force his way out. I will have my say on that. Isak signed a contract at Newcastle. He knew what he was signing up to. If he didn't agree and want to stay at Newcastle for that long, shouldn't have signed that contract to be there for that long. Which I think that's simple enough to put it to him, and for fans to understand. Because trying to force your way out of a club, you're contracted there, mate. So what are you doing? See, I understand that. Footballers these days, they get paid incredible amounts of money and they just feel like they can do whatever they want. Well, sorry, but that's not quite how it works. And I really do disagree with Alexander Isak. Yes, he wants to play for Liverpool, but in a way, it's not his choice, really. He said he's not up for sale by the club. He's pushing for a move. Doesn't look like he will go, but his attitude absolutely stinks, if reports are true anyway. That he's not going to play for Newcastle even if he's not sold. What a waste. What an absolute waste. Newcastle literally give him his career. Give him a huge chance and he's just stabbed him in the back, really, which is awful. Really, really poor to see. Last season, Isak, 29 goal involvements with Newcastle. You know, he had a fantastic year. He was a big part to that team that won the Carabao Cup as well. Jacob Murphy with 20 goal involvements last season. That is the thing with Newcastle and Eddie Howe. You know, players that he didn't think were going to be good enough have instantly become good enough because of his coaching. Top manager. But for me, I'll stop talking about Newcastle now. I think they finished in 7th this season. In the 6th place and just missing out on the Champions League, I have gone for Brighton under Fabian Hutzler. Last season they finished in 8th. And this year I think they do improve on last year's finish. They've had a very busy transfer window, so let's get through it. They brought in Costalos at top. Di Cupia, Tom Watson from Sunderland, Diego Coppola at centre-half, Di Young Yoon on the right wing, and Boskagli up top as well. Hopefully I've pronounced some of them somewhat accurately. You know me and my pronunciations. We don't always get 10 out of 10. But they have lost João Pedro, Simon Adingra, Pervis Estupiñán, Valentin Barco, and Evan Ferguson, who's on a loan to buy out in Serie A and already doing really, really well. I'm not sure why Brighton, you know, they always do really good business, but that one I'm looking at and thinking, I think Brighton might have actually got that one wrong. I think he's a fantastic player. He's got a really bright future, and letting him go, don't think it's the right decision there for Brighton, if I'm honest. But this year, I do think Brighton, really excited to see what they can deliver. I think they improved on last season. Last year, João Pedro, who of course has departed to Chelsea, 16 goal involvements. Karu Matoma, 10 goals, who was their top goal scorer, joint with Welbeck and João Pedro last season. There's goals to share around there at Brighton. Hopefully this season there's more of them to come and they can push on to push for the Champions League. Into the top 5 then, of course, 5 teams that I have not mentioned so far. In 5th place and getting Champions League football, I've gone for Tottenham. Now, the thing about Tottenham is that they've just won a trophy. They finished in 17th, sacked the manager after winning a trophy, which is something Tottenham don't do. And And they've gone and got a very, very good replacement in Thomas Frank. I really do like that appointment in Thomas Frank. Done really well at Brentford, of course, from the Championship. Really did build that side up with backing as well from the owners. Every year, improved, got to the Premier League, improved them and stabilised them as a Premier League club, and left them in a much, much better position than he went into it. And there wasn't much more he could do at Brentford, really, Thomas Frank. Maybe win a trophy or something, but, you know, it's always really difficult. And he's jumped now to Tottenham, which I think is a really, really good suit for both parties. And I really hope Frank gets time here at Tottenham, because I do think he can deliver. They've brought in Kudus from West Ham. They've brought in Tell, of course, after being on loan. Danso, Vuskovic at centre-half. Takai as well at centre-half. And Polinia, who the ex-Fulham man, on loan, which is very exciting from Bayern Munich. That is a great signing. They've lost Son, Højbjerg and Reguilon. Son, the big one. I mean, what a career he had, predominantly in the Premier League. What a player. Him and Kane. The nostalgia's flowing back. We've had some great players playing the Premier League, and Son definitely straight up there. What a player as well. What a human. You know, every time I've seen a clip of him, he's just so caring. What a guy. What a guy. And Son last season contributed to 16 goals at Tottenham. Maddison with 16 goal involvements as well, and Brennan Johnson with 14 goals involvements last season, 11 of which were goals. Under Thomas Frank, I really do feel like Tottenham can thrive. Last year under Ange, he was dealt a side blow with the amount of injuries, but under Frank, I think they're going to do well, and I think they're going to finish in 5th place. Into 4th place, I have gone for Chelsea. Last season, under Enzo Maresca, they finished in 4th, and I feel like they'll do the same this season. A few people think they'll get 2nd or 3rd. I don't think they'll do that well. I really do like the squad, though, and I do feel like this will be the first year, after all the players they've signed the last few years, I think this is the year that Chelsea really do look serious in the league. João Pedro's been brought in, Jamie Giddens, Jarell Hatto, Liam Delap's been brought in, Estavo, Asengo, Sarr and Payez have all been brought in. They've lost quite a few players as well. They've lost Madueke, João Felix, Petrovic, Ugo Chukwu, Dewsbury Hall, Broha, Amoyu, Humphreys and Kepa have all departed. So there's quite a big turnover of players at Chelsea this summer, like every summer these days. But last season, Cole Palmer with 23 goal involvements, Nicholas Jackson with 15 goal involvements. He's rumoured to be going out the door at Stamford Bridge. And when they've signed the likes of João Pedro as well, you can understand why as well. But and Leon Delap, of course, both going to be competition for Jackson if he does stick around. But Chelsea, absolutely stacked, should be getting top 4 at least, and I think they will. 4th place. Very exciting squad there, as always, and loads of players, once again, for Chelsea this summer. 4th place, though, under Enzo Maresca, and a good year for Chelsea. Into 3rd place, and this is exciting. I feel like we could have a really, really exciting Premier League title race this season. In 3rd place, I've gone for Manchester City, and what could be Pep Guardiola's last season at Man City. Nothing confirmed, but a few things I've read online. It could be Pep's last season, and to be honest, I hope it's not. As much as it's annoying to see City dominate and do so well, Liverpool and Arsenal are catching up, and even Chelsea. And I really hope Pep stays. He's been there for quite a while now, but honestly, yeah, he's just brilliant, isn't he? Really, really good manager, and I hope he sticks around for a few more years. When Pep goes, it's going to be not the same in the Premier League, sort of, because other teams will be winning the Premier League more often, potentially. Pep, of course, they finished 3rd last season, was a bit underwhelming from Man City, but, of course, in the summer they have, as always, made quite a few signings. Rangers has been brought in. Nuri, Rayan Shirky, Trafford and Naipan have all been brought in by City. They've lost Kyle Walker, Peroni, Couto and the main one, Kevin De Bruyne has departed, which, yeah, that's a big loss for the Premier League as well. Last season, Haaland, 22 goals, 25 goal involvements. Great season for him. No doubt he's going to put up similar numbers this season. But for me, Man City is 3rd again for them. On to the top 2 then. It's Liverpool and Arsenal left to predict. Which way round have I got them? Before we announce it, I do think this could be, as I just said with Man City, one of the most exciting title races we've had in recent years. And to see Arsenal and Liverpool there is exciting. And the business they've done this season, really good. And it could be either of them, But for me, I've gone with Arsenal to finish in second for the third, well, what would be the fourth year in a row this year. They finished second last previous 3 years. But this year, under Mikel Arteta, they have really gone strong in the transfer window. Victor Gyökeres have been brought in, was once upon a time at Swansea, and was absolutely awful. I do not know how he's become the player he has after the loan spell at Swansea. He scored 1 goal in an FA Cup game away at Stevenage, and that was the only goal he scored. And apart from that, he was absolutely dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. I just don't understand how he's become this good. Zubimendi is so underrated, that signing. Madueke's exciting from Chelsea. Mosquera, Norgard from Brentford, really good signing. Kepa as well, that's the backup keeper sorted. And Eze, potentially to be brought in by Arsenal. He's been linked to Arsenal and Tottenham. Looks like he will depart Palace this summer. Exciting, exciting, exciting. Really good summer by Arsenal. They have lost Partey, Tierney, Jorginho and Tomiyasu over the summer. But, I mean, the players they already had, the players they brought in, definitely improved the squad. So exciting for Arsenal. And this year could be their year. Last year, Saka, 16 goal involvements at Arsenal. I think he'll do a bit better this season. And Arsenal will just finish second, which I really want Arsenal to do well and win the league, just to mix it up a little bit. And because they've come second for so many years now, I'd love to see them win the league. But the team in first have done really well. Let's move on to them. So it's no secret by this point in the video, I've got Liverpool to win the league under Arne Slot. Now, in my early Premier League predictions, I had Arsenal to win it. And I went away from that and I sort of thought about it. And I thought, Arne Slot, he come in last season with what he had. And he won the league straight away. Yes, Arsenal improved, but so have Liverpool. And Liverpool really have pushed the boat out. And I do think they will get Alexander Isak before the end of the window. They've already brought in Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, who was about to go to Newcastle, and Liverpool said, nah, we're having him, mate. We are having him. Kirkes, Frimpong and Freddie Woodman, the main man of it all. Freddie Woodman, once at Swansea, really good keeper here. At Preston he wasn't great. And he's gone to Liverpool. What a signing. And maybe Isak to come in with that as well. Of course, replaced Trent from that as well. Robertson at left back's been replaced there. Ekitike from Nunez has been replaced. And Florian Wirtz just adding that creativity in midfield. It's scary what Liverpool could do this season. It really is. Of course, along with Trent, they've lost Kelleher, Quansah, Nunez, Diaz, Morton and Phillips. And it's at this point in the video, I want to say rest in peace to Diego Jota and Andre Silva. Jota, Liverpool legend, of course, brought in 2020, won them number 20, and he wore number 20. That shirt, rightfully so, retired by Liverpool. Andre Silva as well. Great, great players. And I haven't done a tribute on the channel yet, so I thought this was the only right timing to do it for both players. Rest in peace, Diego Jota and Andre Silva. This season in the Premier League, Mo Salah won the Golden Boot. He had a crazy season. Salah 29 goals and Salah 47 goal involvements. The rest, of course, coming in the form of assists. Absolute joke of a player. Absolute joke of a player. I do have a slight feeling that this year, them numbers will be halved. And he won't do as well. Because when I watch some, I think a lot more is coming through Florian Wirtz. And this year's the first year I look at Liverpool, I think Salah may not deliver the goods like he has been in the last few seasons. The numbers anyway. I could be completely wrong. I've just got that instinct feeling that he won't. So, but I have still got Liverpool to win the league. Number 21 for Liverpool this season. So there we go. They are my 1 to 20 predictions. And as I promised, we have got some other predictions to add on to this. So Liverpool to win the league. In the comments, if you've got a different side to win the league, let me know the points tally you think they'll win the league with. For me, Liverpool win the league with 87 points. It'd be a great, great year. Really close at the top, but Liverpool 87 points. That's more than they finished with last season. Top scorer, I feel like we're going to have the same for a lot of these. Haaland, for me, absolute joke of a player. Complete robot. But he will win the Golden Boot this season. Regain his dominance with the Golden Boot. Most assists, I just spoke about it there. Florian Wirtz is going to be really important to Liverpool. And if I'm predicting Salah to drop off a little bit, I think it's Wirtz that takes some of his numbers. And yeah, top assists there, Florian Wirtz. What a signing, man. What a signing. The amount of managers to be sacked in the Premier League this season, I think, will be 8 of the 20. 8 of the 20 managers starting the season will be sacked. And the Golden Glove in the Premier League this season, the final one to do. I haven't gone for a Liverpool player this time, or a Manchester City player. Man City linked to Donnarumma as well, which could be fantastic, although they have just brought in Trafford and have got Ederson there. Donnarumma could easily get it, because I think he is one of the best keepers in the world. Let's go beyond the point. He's not there, so I haven't given to him. I've gone for David Raya at Arsenal for the Golden Glove this season. Well then guys, there are my 1 to 20 Premier League table predictions for the new season, and some additional predictions to go along with it and add to the fun. As always, if you did go on to enjoy, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and hopefully you have all enjoyed the video. If you've made it this far, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, I really do appreciate your support. I'll see you in the next one very soon, guys. The Premier League is back. They're my predictions. We'll come back to this one in May and find out how wrong we actually were. I'm not looking forward to that, but for now, positivity. We're going to get them all right in a bit, guys. Take care. Goodbye.